You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome in to Boomer and the Beard. You couldn't have timed that better if you wanted to, Mr. Music Man. Good Lord, that was good. That'll wake you up in the morning. Hot dog. Hot dog. We got to get the starting lineup on the field. We gotta make sure we can see the starting lineup. We're working on getting Sandee Luhu into the live stream. If you're watching us on the live stream, if you're not, you're probably a communist. You probably had one of those ballots that only had one thing checked, that was cast by a dead person. So, man, we got a lot to talk about this morning. I have officially come up with my theory of how this thing's going to end. And I don't think anyone's going to like it. But I think it's going to be the actual way that this thing goes down. And I think that it's happened before in human history. Not once, but twice. And I think that's just where we're headed. So I will dive into that first thing probably this morning and really open us up on a high note. Let's get at the team here on the field. The best exported product from Shelbyville, Kentucky since Colonel Sanders. He still watches VHS tapes with his family, impresses his wife with the mixtapes from the late 80s and the early 90s, and is actually old enough to understand what it is to shake a Polaroid picture. The godfather of old souls, Boomer. What's up, buddy?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I have had a little iffy morning this morning. Waffle House. I almost had to defend the honor of an Waffle House waitress.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what I was going to do. There was a very drunk, ruly table of individuals.
Unruly?
Unruly.
Or ruly?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I'm struggling with the words this morning.
Okay. English is hard. I get it.
But they were pretty bad, and I about had it. So I didn't know what I was going to do.
Did you have to old man them?
Almost did. I did under
then you realized you had soft hands, supple hands that didn't do much work.
When the waitress did come over to me, I said it loud enough that it must be really hard to be a-hole at 4:00 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I know they heard me.
You went there.
But I tipped her really well. So I was like, yeah, they have a thankless job.
Yeah, here you go, sugar. Get you a good tip, sugar.
But it was rough. But I'm good now. I'm good. I got out of there.
Well, I'm glad. I'm watching a basketball player named Equality. That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that's the woke names on the back of the jerseys.
Oh, I thought his parents named him Equality. I was like, well, hot dog. He must be a real social justice warrior. Sandee Lou, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're fired up and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Did you have a good day yesterday?
I did have a good day yesterday.
Did you do anything fun or productive?
Oh, I did a lot of things that are productive. We're trying to get everything prepared and ready for our Client Appreciation Night.
Client Appreciation Night!
Monday. Yes. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Like, people don't understand how hard I work for, like, getting this night ready just to celebrate my clients. And it's going to be an exciting night. No doubt about it. We've got a ton of giveaways. I mean, it's just going to be... I've got so many items at such a good price. Like, it almost makes me nauseous because, I mean, we're really not going to be making any money off of it. I mean, we are, but, we're not. So
it's over at the SK Salon.
Yes.
The number one place for you. Hey, if you want to treat your wife, by the way, Christmas is coming up. If you want to treat your wife to a cut and a color.
And we already have them wrapped and ready.
And my.
So, I know. Like,
you talking to Mr. Turnkey over here? Mr. No Hassle? That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Oh,
so,
you hear that, Boomer?
So we come get
you just go grab the present, hang on to it, and then stick it under the tree. You don't have to do anything else with it.
Now, do we know?
Exactly.
Do we know if said gift is for male or female?
No, it's a freaking gift card. Were you not listening to anything I said?
I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's not a gift card.
Yeah.
Then
See?
you weren't listening to what I said. I said, I said the SK Salon. I said, husbands, if you need to get your wife something, a cut and color, I'm sure they have gift cards. And you said, your
yes.
immediate response was, and they're already wrapped and ready to go.
She was talking about the gifts that
Oh.
everybody
Right.
can come
What
get.
I just said was she didn't
Right.
listen to me.
Maybe you did.
Yeah, I didn't listen
Well,
to you.
I said
so, anyway.
the word gift card came out of my mouth. Connor, can you defend me here?
I don't have a dog in
Oh,
this
hold
fight.
on a minute. Hold on a minute. He's not. Oh, there, oh, yep, there he is.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
Oh, you are pitiful. You are pitiful. Well, go fact check that, okay?
I just want everybody to be happy.
Oh, yes. Yes. This coming from the man who, when I asked him this morning if he's convinced yet that there was, quote, significant fraudulent activity, unquote, in the election, he said, not significant. So it takes a lot to get him to have a dog in the fight. Apparently, we've got to be 50 million.
We've got
50
to
million
remember.
dead people
We've got to
voted. Then we've
remember.
got a significant problem. No, we've got a lot going on today. We'll dive into some of that. We got a clip from Tucker Carlson where he.
I see dead people.
That's going to be called the segment's going to be called "I See Dead People," and it's hilarious. We've got Randy Beausoleil, who is a retired Navy SEAL, who did. He has crazy stories. We're going to get a couple. We might get a Navy SEAL story from Randy today, and then we just got a lot going on. It's Monday, so what can you do? I'm kidding. Those people listening to the podcast right now are freaking out.
He doesn't know what day it is. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's why they say don't talk about the date. Don't date yourself if you're doing a podcast, right? Don't date the podcast because then people that are listening to it will feel like they're way behind.
Well, see, but I would disagree because if you're talking about something that happened on Thursday and they watched said podcast on Saturday, they would think this guy's an idiot. He's way
it's
behind.
hard to watch a podcast, first of all.
Well, listen to the whatever semantics.
It's not semantics. Actually.
I know, right?
It's not
Gosh.
semantics. It's actually that would be very literal, not semantical.
I'm sorry.
It's so funny looking at you guys right now because, yesterday we were talking about, or whatever day it was, we were talking about how cold it was in that studio over there. And then, Zach is all, bundled up like a little snow bunny. And
So we've
then-
decided why that happens, by the way. I like being cold.
please.
But he,
I enjoy being cool.
I think he likes dressing like a lumberjack more than he likes being cold.
I have one flannel shirt to my name. It just happens to be a
You
jacket.
look like a lumberjack.
I've never seen a lumberjack with a hoodie on.
Welcome to the host of the show, Paul Bunyan. And I'm blue. Look here. See? Our Halloween
goodness.
costume.
Oh, my. Oh, okay.
All right, that's
Hey,
for
and
your
on
comment.
another note,
Zach told me this
Boomer-
morning, as soon as I walked in, that I needed to buy this flannel jacket at Walmart. Like
It's
he
the
has,
warmest thing I've
so
ever
that
put
I
on
would,
my...
so
And-
that I would look like a man. Is what he
No,
hit me with.
that's not what I said. Let me tell you exactly what I said. I said,
Wow.
you need to buy this jacket because it is unbelievably comfortable and warm. And then I let it rest for a minute. And then I said, and also, you'll look like a man.
So there you go.
So that wasn't the primary reason that I advised that he buy it, but it certainly is a solid after effect.
I don't want people to randomly walk up to me in the street going, "Could you help me cut down a tree?" I don't want that look.
No, but you would like them to think they could ask you for help changing a tire.
I really don't. No, I
and
don't. I don't want them to ask me to do nothing. That's why I don't own a pickup truck, because when you own a pickup truck, automatically you're the moving friend, and I don't.
Yes,
I would.
you are.
I would drive one of
True
those
story.
one-seat mini cars before I would drive the truck, just for that purpose.
Yeah, we have a truck and a covered trailer. So, yeah, they're all over us. Like, hey, what are y'all doing this weekend?
it's funny, I've got a heavy-duty diesel and a 20-foot enclosed trailer, and I've not been asked to move in a long time.
Because you're intimidating. People.
Well.
People
Yeah.
like stay away from the lumberjack serial killer guy.
They don't know what a
Oh, now we're
going
going to throw a serial killer in the mix. Now, you go ahead. Y'all go ahead and get your jabs in this morning. Y'all go ahead and get them in.
That was not me. I
Get-
said they didn't know what kind of a true teddy bear you are. That's what I said.
What do you want?
No, I don't want anything. I'm just saying.
What do you want, Sandy?
That's what I want.
I didn't say you are a serial killer.
No, that's
lumberjack
exactly
guy.
what you
I said. I
said.
said you look like.
No, you said the serial killer lumberjack guy.
All right, that's for your
All Referring to me, so literally calling me a serial
You
killer.
said I don't look like a man. That hurt. So I was just kind of, I'm hurt. My feelings are a little.
You're backed into a corner. He's injured. You know what happens when
I'm
dogs
bruised.
get injured? They bite.
Right, I'm bruised.
They bite. He's in. No, it's injured. That's the. I mean, it's the phrasing, right? But when you back a dog into a corner and he's injured, he's going to bite his way out. Right now, you're injured a little bit, and so, everybody, we're learning the boundaries for each member of the team and where injury occurs. And that way we can, Connor took me to testosterone, and I took Boomer to manlyhood. So we've learned each other's edges. I still go back and listen to that every now and again. And the way you hit that, and then you didn't even let the word finish out of your mouth because you were like, "Uh-oh. What have I done?" It was pretty funny. That would have been the morning, if you haven't gone back and listened through the archives, that would have been the morning that I didn't show up for my own show. It was well-deserved. But we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I'm going to give you my monologue of idea as to how this thing ends. The election is crazy. I think I know how it all shakes out. You're listening to Boomer and the Beer. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We haul lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host. I've got to be honest with you, Boomer. You're killing the music game. I didn't even know you knew Amos Lee.
Amos Moses?
Oh, yeah, him too. His middle name was Lee.
No, that's Amos Lee is an artist. That's actually
no Amos Lee Moses.
Oh, okay.
It was Amos Lee Moses. That's kind of a man thing.
I'm a huge Jerry Reed fan.
Yeah, it's kind of a man thing. It's cool. For men.
Getting songs wrong. Is that what you're saying?
It's kind of a man thing,
Wow.
Making mistakes. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, more or less.
I guess I'm not that manly because I don't make that many mistakes.
Nope, you are not that manly, sir. Okay, you heard it here first. He said it, not me. Okay. I have watched many videos, so this is not necessarily a 100% original idea, okay? In fact, it's impossible for anybody to claim it's original idea because it happened in 1800 and it happened again in 1824. But I've watched both sides. I've watched what Van Morrison was his name? Van something?
Van Jones.
Yeah, that guy. Van Jones, the Democratic lawyer fella. I've watched him go through this explanation. And then I've watched the guy on the right, some nobody actually. I think he had it was like a 2,000 views on a YouTube video, but he did a really good job. My mom sent that to me. Thanks, Mom. But here is, and so I've listened to both sides of the equation. I've listened to somebody that I know is smart and somebody who sounded smart. So I don't like Van Jones, but he's a freaking genius. I mean, he's a very accomplished attorney. I mean, he's got it going. I mean, he's got it going on. You can't take that away from the man. So, that being said, here is what I think is going to happen. The concession speech is one of the most honorable portions of our entire process. The concession speech is not required by law. It's not required by the Constitution. The reason the concession speech means so much and is so important to the process of the Republic is because there's 70-something billion. Good Lord, listen to Joe Biden talk over here. Listen to Joe Biden talk. There's 70,000 billion. No, there's 70 million people, 70-plus million people standing on edge right now, waiting for an answer, right? Waiting for their guy to pull through in legal challenges. When or if that doesn't happen, they're like an army. They're an army just sitting on the edge waiting to do. I mean, that's their guy. They're loyal to that guy. They were excited to be under that guy. They would go and do something for that guy. We've seen it happen on both sides, not very often on the right, but we've seen people mobilize for causes. And so the concession speech serves its point to, from the non-legal perspective, it's a peaceful transition of power, right? That's what it exists to aid in. It's this moment when you stand up and say, you know what, guys, we fought a hard battle. The other guy's won. He's beat us fair and square. I wish him luck. I hope he does well because I love this country and I want to see great things happen to this country. Basically, all my followers out there, calmate. Deep breath, woosah. It's going to be okay. This guy can't really hurt us that bad. We've got gridlock in Congress. Everybody's going to be fine. And so that's the non-legal purpose. The legal purpose is once you concede, you can no longer challenge legally. You can no longer continue the court. You basically say, I am accepting the terms of this election, and I forfeit my right to challenge any further. When that happens, there will be recount after recount after recount after recount after recount. And unless it can be certified, each state has a certification process. There's not been any results certified that I'm aware of. There will be a recount in Arizona. There's a recount in Georgia. There's going to be a recount in every single battleground state. And if it cannot be fully certified that this thing was done without any interference or without fraudulent activity or whatever, and there's no concession by Donald Trump, it will then go to the House of Representatives. Now, this has happened twice, like I mentioned, 1800 and 1824. And basically, when it goes to the House of Representatives, it nullifies the entire election process. It says, you know what, that the popular election never happened. Those votes are sorry, people. There was some fraud. There was something going on. We cannot use what you gave us, and we can't redo it because constitutionally there's process. And so now the election entirely falls to the House of Representatives, which might make you very concerned if you're a conservative. However, each state gets one vote, not each member of the House of Representatives. And currently, should everyone vote along party lines, while the number of participants in the House is Democratic, the number of states is Republican. Now, it's not a huge margin. I've heard what did I say earlier?
37.
Did I say 37?
37 was the number.
And we didn't fact check that, but it is a majority to the Republican side. They then hand Donald Trump the presidency. It is legitimate. It is absolutely certifiable. It is the real deal. It is constitutionally accurate. It is legally all of those things. And Donald Trump knows this. And so as long as Donald Trump doesn't lose what did I say? The day after the election, I said Republicans do not have the stomach for the fight that's coming. Did I say that? And everybody remember me saying that? As long as that doesn't come into play, and they don't why do you think there's so much pressure to get him to freaking concede?
Because they know there's a shot that it's going to go that way. I think, like you.
I think so too. And so ultimately, as long as he has the stomach for the fight that's ahead, which I think if anybody has a chance at stomaching what's coming, it's one orange man bad, Donald J. Trump. And so that's how I think we see a Donald Trump presidency for another 4 years. Now, I think it causes significant violence and craziness in the streets and all kinds of stuff because people are unwilling to now. And when that happens, I don't want you to forget. They're standing up right now and calling you stupid, saying, hey, unity, fall under our rulers, fall under our king and be peaceful and be unity. Don't forget that. Now, the other option is that Donald Trump can't prove anything in court, therefore cannot nullify the election, therefore will not be the president. That is also, I would say that's more likely to happen than my thought process than the House choosing the president, but not by much. I think they're very, very equal opportunity endings, if that makes sense.
Well, I think that the longer it goes, the longer I think something. Because if you know anything about Trump, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to lose. But he's lost things before. I'm sure there's been business.
Yeah, he's filed bankruptcy twice.
So he has had to quit at certain times and give up and say, I lost. I don't think it's the reason that people are saying that he's just being a whiny baby and he just is a dictator and he's just going to hold on till they pull him out or they arrest him. I don't think it's that. There's something up. Well, like you said, whether or not it actually comes true and it's something that does it, but he's not quitting for a reason.
Yeah, something's up. We've had a tweet from Sarah Huckabee that we've all kicked around, and we're trying to fact. So I want to make sure I say this out loud right now before Connor jumps down my throat here. Allegedly, Connor, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Allegedly, okay. Sarah Huckabee, who I believe to be a pretty reliable source.
Yes.
She's saying that it's possible in Georgia. There are the ballots where the voter only voted for president. So look at the ballot. There's only one box filled in, okay? They just fill in for Biden. They don't vote for anything else. In Georgia, though the ballot totals are 95,801 people just checkmarked for Biden and moved on. Only 818 went for Trump. in the ballots where the voter voted all the way down ballot, it's 2.4 million for Trump, 2.3 million for Biden, and there's some change in there, but it's more or less 85,000 vote difference. So what she's alleging here is, without saying so, is that the real vote totals are Donald Trump 2,456,915, Biden 2,376,081, and then the Democrats used more or less fake ballots for the 95,801 difference, and then threw in 818 Trump ballots just to make it look normal.
So it's almost saying like they're in a room and they're filling them out, and somebody's like, "We ain't got time to fill out all of them."
Yeah, well, it's like man, we need 85,000 ballots. Well, we're gonna need more than that. So let's give us 95, but throw 800 in for Trump. So I don't know. I don't know if it's accurate. It is alleged right now. It sounds fishy. Everything sounds fishy to me, but I don't believe anything. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
President-elect Biden has chosen his longtime advisor Ron Klain to be his chief of staff. Klain not only has had similar roles with Biden before, he also served as coordinator in the Obama administration to the Ebola response in 2014. Every day this week, the news has become more grim when it comes to coronavirus numbers. 144,000 new infections yesterday, another high. And now there are concerns about the vaccine and how it might get to all of us.
A new challenge in the fight against the virus. A lack of freezers needed for Pfizer's vaccine. Pfizer is expected to request emergency authorization for its vaccine as soon as next week. But the vaccine must be stored and shipped at 94 degrees below zero. FedEx is adding dry ice freezers to some trucks, and UPS says it's building freezer farms to help with distribution. Experts say getting the vaccine to rural areas will be the biggest challenge.
ABC's Ken Moten. Tropical storm Eta slamming into the western coast of Florida with 50-mile-an-hour winds. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Out of Georgia today, we're going to have a hand recount. This is what we need, a full audit of these election results, so that whoever the winner is, the American people have confidence in the results. Now, speaking of confidence, I believe, I'm very optimistic that the winner of an accurate count in Georgia is going to be Donald Trump. Why do I say that?
Well, one big reason, and cost far less than a full-time employee or staff. This new normal we live in has us working from home and remoting in all the time, so 24-hour support is more important than ever. Reliable and safe access for you and your employees doesn't get more simple than Simple Helix. 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kind of quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful bearded host. Again, if you're watching the live stream, bear with us. We've got some video issues that we just don't understand. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a radio show and we're right here with you live on the radio.
It's conspiracy. We're talking about.
It is. It's Joe Biden.
Lock him down.
Hey, lock him down, Joe. Lock him down. All right, Connor.
He doesn't want anyone to hear the truth.
He doesn't remember what it is anyways.
Exactly.
Okay, so I took a wild. Usually when I do a monologue, it's not based in fact, but rather in opinion. And so that was a big scary thing for me, taking on the congressional process there, because I don't really know anything about it, and so I've done a little bit of research on that. But Connor is the resident fact checker of this show. He's the smartest guy in every room he walks into. And so first, Connor, my explanation of the process of no concession, as far as it pertains to the congressional election and the Constitution. What kind of a score would you give me on my factual accuracy?
I don't know how important necessarily the concession speech is.
Well, that's more important only in like the peaceful transition part. That's like the gentleman's that's like the gentleman's rule of it all. But it does have a legal consequence once you give the concession.
In what
you're forfeiting your right to more legal challenges once you've conceded the race. So that's where the concession comes into play legally. But more than anything, it's that gentleman's rule kind of a thing. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Fact check me.
I understand it goes to the House after the electors vote, and there's no candidate that reaches a majority. That's where I always thought it gets thrown to the House, because the electors have to convene and vote, and if no candidate establishes a majority, then the election goes to the House. And actually, funnily enough, the vice president is decided by the Senate.
Yeah, I did know that.
Which means we could, in theory, have a president from one party and a vice president from the other, which I imagine would make for some very uncomfortable meetings.
That would make 4 years of excellent radio, though, especially if it was Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Oh. Can you just imagine? If I could have my vote for a combo, it would be Donald Trump as the president, Kamala Harris as the vice president. Oh, my gosh!
That'd be like one big Monday Night Raw wrestling.
Oh, my gosh. Or put Joe Biden in there with Donald Trump as president, vice president. That would be elder abuse. No. That would be elder abuse. Good gracious. Okay, so the only thing that Connor doesn't know and that may be wrong here is, and I'm unsure at what point, because what the videos that I were watching was saying was at which time you cannot certify the states.
Well, the states certify themselves.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So when they cannot certify because of
if they don't appoint electors.
Correct. Because what one of the videos was saying was that, I mean, there are so many inconsistencies right now, or inaccuracies, or whatever you want to call them, discrepancies in so many of the battleground states, all of them actually, that you may not be able to get to I guess though the court's going to have to say at some point, here's how that ends.
I think a state probably has to appoint electors at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they could get away
that would
with.
be the only part of the process that I would be curious of, and that would very much change the outcome.
But I don't know. I think if you're going to see anything like that, you're probably going to. So in the Constitution, state legislatures are given the power to certify and appoint electors. Sure. That has usually been understood to mean the entirety of the state government, but there are some interpretations that say it means just the legislative body of any given state. And that, if you have a Republican legislature, they could theoretically, or a Democrat, if one party controls the legislature and their state voted for the other party, they could theoretically overturn that because they have full control in that interpretation.
So let's use a for instance here. Georgia has a Republican legislature, but they are looking like it went Democrat, but with a lot of contests, like they're being contested heavily. So in theory, what you're saying is, if their state was one of the states with the laws that went this way, they could actually appoint Republican electors, even though their state went Democrat, because they for instance, let's just say they think there was widespread fraud that they couldn't prove necessarily, but they were convinced that happened. Then in theory, they could appoint Republican electors as opposed to what their city or what their state actually voted.
through that interpretation of the Constitution. Yes.
Okay. So not saying that is an actual possibility, but there is some interpretation out there that could potentially happen. Again, we're theorizing a lot here. We're playing hypotheticals and what ifs. Go ahead, Sandee.
I have to say this really quick. So I have a verse of the day that comes through on my phone every morning. And as we were talking about this, the verse that came up was John 8:32. You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. And I was just like about Christ in that verse. But to me, that is just like, mic drop. So, I just love that. I just had to share that. There you go.
Thank you. Well, now we all feel
You're
better.
welcome.
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
Exactly.
So we got another message from one of our listeners that says, I also believe Trump will win. I'm just not looking forward to what comes after that. Well, I don't really care what comes after that. We live in Alabama, so.
Well, and we should. That's the other thing I hate too, is we shouldn't live in fear that if things don't go someone's way, they get to just throw a fit and lose their minds. I hate that. I mean, it's like I teach my kids. It's like if they get upset about something, they can't. Like my oldest son, Timothy, 14. He watches TV with me. Sometimes I probably shouldn't let him watch some of the political stuff because I don't want to get his mind too crazy. But he saw the thing about, well, if Biden gets in, there's going to be more lockdowns. And my son was terrified of the virtual school. He struggled. And he just said, if we go back virtual, I'm not doing any work. And I was like, well, bud, you can't do that. You can't go to that extreme. But it seems like that's what people have turned into. Like if they cannot get their way, then they just throw a fit and give up. And I don't think that's the way we need to go. I mean, it's
no, it's not the way that we should act. But a lot of people are going to be doing that. And I mean, as far as being in fear of what's to come, I think what we have to do is we just have to step out in faith, and we have to be like, okay, we've done this, so let's go.
I'm not laughing at you, Sandee. I promise I'm not laughing at you.
There's so much inside going on in the studio right now.
I wish the cameras could have shown what was going on then, because we were trying to get we have a backup camera we were trying to get established because we're having some significant problems with, I think, our computer. But Connor can't see the monitor, so while Boomer's talking in a spirited manner, I'm over here trying to point Connor which direction to move the camera, and I would point left, and because I'm looking at a mirror image, I would point left and he would move left, but it would go to my right, and I can't, so he kept moving the camera, and finally he just threw his hands up and was like, I don't know what to do. So I'm over here trying to let Boomer be serious and laugh at the same time.
Well, there was a funny story that came out this morning, and I saw it, and it kind of made me feel like what some of these individuals are. We talked about sometimes you get on your soapbox and you're there and you're, by God, you're right. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm going to fight you till it ends or whatever. There was a bride that went on a wedding dress website and literally blasted them with angry posts. Every friend, please send these things. They have screwed up my wedding. I took some pictures, and the wedding dress looks nothing like it did in the pictures. I'm so disappointed. Blah blah blah. And she goes on, and all this hate, and then the Millie Bridal sent back a response. Ma'am, you have the dress on inside out.
Oh my God.
And it had been shipped, turned inside out, and she just put it on. And
wow, this thing's scratchy. This thing's really scratchy. Is it supposed to be scratchy?
I can't even imagine that.
Dude, that is
honest to goodness.
That is so perfect, though. You talk about the social media generation.
Burn them down. They should
burn them to the ground on Twitter, unless you're wrong.
The good thing is that I like about this lady, and I'll give her some credit. She did have a good sense of humor. She came back, reposted, and said, "Who knew that you would put that you had to turn the dress inside out?" And but only 1,000 people. But that's it. You think you're right. Like all these people that are like, "This is the way it should be," and then if it doesn't go your way, then let's burn the world down. It's like, come on, people. Is it that deep? Probably not. But yeah, how about you need to check to make sure you're inside out.
That is crazy.
That's so funny. My mom's obviously watching. She just, when I said, thanks, Mom, she said, you're welcome. No, you're welcome, Mom. Look at me. Mom, I've made it. No, I'm kidding. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. When we come back, we might dive into something else that's not so terrifying and scary.
What about McDonald's? We're going to talk about McDonald's?
Sure, we'll talk about McDonald's. The best. You talking about the best fast food fries in the world?
We'll talk
be
about
right
McDonald's.
back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And then it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic. We've got your back. Come see us today.
You don't need a diet. That's work. You don't need a stylist. They're overrated. And you don't need to hang out with older or fatter people just to seem better in comparison either. All you need are these masters of video production. They'll make you look good.
Make your videos look good with Cotton Row Productions, the official live stream provider of Hometown Heartbeat and The Dale Jackson Show. We can handle events, church live streams, and your digital advertising. Call Cotton Row Productions today, 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it. I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch. Mm-hmm.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands. With a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful bearded host. We are wired up, fired up, ready to go this morning. We've got the starting lineup on the field. We've got old Boomer. We've got Sandee Lou. We've got producer Connor. We are rocking and rolling this morning. We came out hot, and we've stayed hot to trot, ready to roll. Programming note, tomorrow on Friday, you will have me for 5 hours. You'll have me from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. You'll have the normal show from 5 to 7 with the team, the normal team. And then at 7 o'clock, legendary Will Hampson will join with Scott Harbor. who you met last week. He is the proprietor of 5 Sport Clips. They're advertising partners of the show. They're great advertising partners of the show. Sandee Lou, he and I had a really good conversation. He said, you might need to introduce me to Sandee Lou. I said, I think I can do that. So, I mean, I'm just saying, you do the best. You've got the best salon in the history of salons, and you do women's hair better than anyone. And Sport Clips doesn't touch women's hair, but they've got all their husbands have wives. I'm just saying. Absolutely. I'm just saying. So you might see a little bit more of that in the upcoming promotions. But we will have 5 hours of goodness for you tomorrow. So if you are a Dale Jackson listener as well, you'll get me instead of Dale. You're welcome for that. So I'm kidding. That's a fantastic.
Can I call in and do the 4 things you should be talking about today?
Yeah, sure. You can call in and do whatever you want to.
7.
You could stay for all 5 hours too, but I can't.
If you pay my mortgage this month, I'll stay.
Yeah, well, I hear you. If I pay your mortgage this month. Connor said he'd chip in. So we've got McDonald's news.
Yes. So you said McDonald's best fries. That's your claim for McDonald's?
I think so.
Okay. Are you a fan of like chicken McNuggets?
Yeah, I had some yesterday.
Did McDonald's gain more respect when they came out with the fact that it actually was real chicken?
No, I thought it was. I don't really care what it is.
You don't care?
It tastes good.
Do you like the McRib?
No. Okay. No, because there's no chance. I know they're bringing it back, but there's no chance. Like, it's got to be like dog meat or something.
Well, there's something new that they've announced, and actually they're
the McRib made of actual beef.
No, there's something even worse. I think.
Oh Lord.
Shares went down 10% after this announcement.
Oh, my.
McDonald's is going to release in 2021, and this is the worst name of any hamburger or whatever it is, the McPlant.
What?
It is the McPlant. It is McDonald's version of the veggie-based burger.
Oh,
they've done that in the past, and it didn't go over good.
Well, that was I think it was Burger King that did the. You think it's a Whopper,
McDonald's.
but it's not a Whopper.
Oh yeah, that's true. Very true. But McDonald's did a veggie burger way back in the day, and I remember because I was brave enough to try it, and I thought this is like styrofoam.
866-494-9866. 866-494-WVNN. I want to know. If you're not a meat eater, I'm not going to make too much fun of you. You probably also voted for Biden. But if you are a non-meat eater, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. It's a joke. People need to calm down. For the love of God, comedy's dead in this country. Anyways, I want to hear from you. What does it taste like? What does a meat replacement hamburger taste like?
They're claiming it will have a similar taste to the Big Mac.
Similar taste.
But here's the part that's even worse. Not only are they going to launch this McPlant,
but you also have to leave your man card at the register when you buy it.
They are going to make a burger version, a chicken substitute version, and a breakfast sandwich version.
Okay, I'm curious. Seriously, I'm curious. And there's probably not too many of you that listen to this show, because the people that listen to this show eat red-blooded meat. But if you are someone that listens to this show and there's been a medical reason or a health reason or whatever that you've stopped, or maybe you just decided it was it was whatever, cholesterol, I don't care, whatever it is. If you've stopped eating meat, I need to know why. I need to know what causes somebody to do that. 866-494-WVNN, because I really am curious about it. Like, I don't understand it. I don't know why you'd stop eating meat. I don't know what benefits. I know Tom Brady's, I think he's like a vegan or whatever, and he's saying that's why he's playing football till he's 80, and he looks like he's 80. I mean, he hasn't been very effective this year, but I don't know. Gronk definitely eats meat. I gotta look at him, but I'm just curious what would make.
To me, the marketing name failed too. The McPlant.
Oh, horrible.
How about the McWussy?
Okay, coming from Mr. Wussy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the McPlant.
Wow.
Like, I was thinking, first I thought they were like going, are they going to sell like poinsettias for holidays, or what's the, what, you can plant a tree, or are they going into the, full-blown Green New Deal?
My first thought was, they're going to put like hemp in burgers? Like, I mean,
the
McPlant. I mean, that's one of the big things in the media.
The
here
McDevil's
lately.
lettuce.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, McDonald's.
Just saying.
So have you guys seen this this Oregon lady, this Hardesty lady? Does everyone remember Joanne Hardesty? Joanne Hardesty is the Oregon commissioner that pushed for defunding police and defunding 911 because they didn't need that much money because people her quote was something along the lines of there's too many frivolous 911 calls, they don't need that much money, yada yada yada.
I remember her. She's a McNut.
I love Boomer.
I don't even know.
I actually know somebody named McNutt. That's a real last name people have.
That's
It is a real last name.
What about McNutty? Probably not. But anyways, Hardesty McNutty over here is in the news cycle again, and not for defunding the police or calling for defunding the police, but because she made a frivolous 911 call.
Wow. What?
It never fails.
Oh, my goodness. I listened to the transcript yesterday. It was hilarious. The Lyft ride went bad from the beginning once Portland City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty ordered a pickup at Washington's Ilani Casino Resort last week. She's over getting her gamble, probably getting her drink on. Got to get a Lyft ride. She got upset because there was a mix-up where she was waiting for the car. And then secondly, she didn't want the windows down because she was cold. She asked the driver to roll the windows up, and he pulled over and had had enough. And he said, get out of my car. I've canceled your Lyft ride. You got your money back. I don't want to deal with you. You're a handle. Get out of my car. And she said, I'm not going to do it. And he said, I'm going to call the police. And she said, I'll call the police for you. She called 911 and proceeded to tell them, I am with a Lyft driver who is making me get out of my car, and I'm not getting out.
Oh,
and he said, ma'am,
word.
That's a civil agreement between the two of you. It's not a criminal issue. I don't know what you want me to do. She said, well, I'm not letting him put me out on the side of the road. And you could hear him in the background saying, she's not on the side of the road. She's in a gas station.
Wow.
It was hilarious. And then
and
what's funny is here's the best part. She goes, I'm going to make him send me a new ride. And before the driver, you could tell how much they use Lyft and Uber out there because the 911 operator goes, ma'am, the driver can't send you a ride. You actually have to request one.
Can you hear that officer? He's like, so ma'am, what is he doing to you? He won't roll the windows up.
Yeah.
If I was a cop and I got that 911 call, you better believe I'm just going to keep eating my donuts. I ain't leaving. I ain't going nowhere.
Can't fix stupid.
Can't. You can take them to water, by God, but you can't make them drink.
Can't make them do it.
Can't turn the wedding dress inside out. They're out there, and they're voting. Those people are. It's more concerning to me that they're voting.
No, they voted.
Yeah, they're voting, right?
Yeah, that's what you should. There should be like a forget voter ID. There should be just like a test. Can you pass this test?
Yeah.
Is this shirt inside out or a little bitty thing? Just common sense stuff.
Right.
Oh, this is so funny. The car windows on the front driver's side and front passenger side were cracked to allow for air circulation as a safeguard due to the coronavirus pandemic, he said. According to Lyft's website, the company's new rules for the road during the pandemic recommend keeping the windows cracked. He rolled the windows up slightly but kept them open a sliver, telling Hardesty that the windows were open for safety purposes since they couldn't be 6 feet apart in the confined space of his car. I did say, the driver said, it's for my safety and your safety, but that was like pouring gas on her fire, Frost said. She demanded that I close the window right now. She was kind of ballistic at that point. He pulled onto Interstate 5, but decided to take the next exit when he said Hardesty wouldn't let up in demanding that he close the windows. He said, so I made a decision it would be in the best interest for both parties to cancel the ride. He took the first exit, spotted a Chevron, and pulled in there. It's lit up like a football field, he said. It's safe, it's warm. She could order another Lyft or Uber, whatever she wants, maybe one with the windows up, and I can be done with her and get on with my work.
Wow. I've always wanted to start my own kind of like taxi, like Lyft, Uber type service where it would be like, they put like specific needs for type of car. It's got to be this, year of a vehicle and all this stuff. I want to do like old beat up pickup trucks, play nothing but country music, Southern feel, and you call it Goober.
You got to be real careful with that one.
I didn't say like Rebel Flags or nothing. I just said Southern.
You got to be real careful with the Southern Goobers.
Pick you up. Hey, where are you going, man?
They park down there at Wheeler Wildlife. I'm just saying.
Would you like your windows up or down?
They go to Waffle House, too.
Yes, that's Cracker. First stop is Waffle House or Cracker Barrel, whichever one they want.
Cracker Barrel is a country store and a restaurant. It knocks off shopping and eating from the list. So
yes, it
you
does.
Can't even
I
compare
love
that
me
to
some
Waffle
Cracker
House.
Barrel.
It's a country store and a restaurant. Talk about a business model. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. We are the smartest, the best, the only radio show in the morning that you need to make sure you listen to. Don't turn that dial or you're a communist. Boomer and the Beard will be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President-elect Biden has chosen his chief of staff, and he's someone who has experience handling a pandemic. Ron Klain is a longtime Biden advisor and served as the head of the Ebola task force under President Obama. He told ABC News this past summer,
one thing that the Obama administration left as a result of the work we started during the Ebola response and continued with the Pandemic Preparation Office was a playbook. And on page 9 of the pandemic playbook, it said, hey, here's something to worry about, a coronavirus.
The United States setting another new record with 144,000 coronavirus cases and another 65,000 people hospitalized. The nation's top infectious disease specialist, Dr. Anthony Fauci, telling ABC News this morning he thinks there's time to fix it.
We can turn it around. I think that's the message we've got to get to American people. We can turn this around.
ABC's Alex Stone has more.
With records being broken every day and cases rising rapidly, new measures are being put into place. Tighter rules in Ohio and in El Paso County, Texas, Judge Ricardo Samaniego is extending a stay-at-home order.
I've decided to extend the county stay-at-home order until we can regain some stability in our community.
El Paso has 10 morgue trucks dedicated to itself and multiple field hospitals. Governor Greg Abbott is sending more medical gear and military help. Alex Stone, ABC News.
President Trump still refusing to concede the election, even as President-elect Biden begins taking phone calls from world leaders. In the state of Georgia, they're going to be hand-counting millions of ballots between now and certification day on November 20th. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says it'll be a long process, but worth it.
Every counting office will have, people in groups of 2 looking at all that. Plus, that we'll have all sorts of folks looking over their shoulders to make sure, that was right, that's right. And if they see something, they're going to call it out.
Joe Biden leads in Georgia by more than 14,000 votes. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
My son, he lives with me, and we both take it every day, and the results are wonderful. But when he was younger, he was in his early 20s. We went skiing, and he had a skiing incident where his big toe on his right foot, the nail got injured, and he lost the toenail. It came back really weird and ugly, and it's been that way for the last 30 years. In about 4 months of us taking the products on a daily basis, his toenail came back perfect. Yeah, I wanted to share that with somebody because it was like astronomical. So we're really very happy with the product.
Don't wait to see how Balance of Nature can improve your health from your head to your toes. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
No two of us are exactly alike. That's why you need a financial advisor with the freedom to focus on the details that make your life your own. Your family, the challenges you face, the dreams that inspire you. Whatever your goals, you need an advisor that can create a plan uniquely tailored to you. That's life well planned. To learn more, call Raymond James Financial Advisor Dustin Haraway, 256-705-0300. Located in downtown Huntsville. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FIRNA SIPC.
been a great example of how we can come together. And to show our thanks, we provided these commemorative t-shirts for everyone.
Everyone? What? I only ordered enough for staff.
Are you kidding me?
How's it look?
Houston, we have a problem.
Aardvark Tees is the source for the t-shirts that you really want, specializing in local custom printing for businesses, civic groups, clubs, and churches, providing the right t-shirts and the right graphics in all sizes from youth to 5XL. Brand your group in style with t-shirts from Aardvark Tees. We also do custom printing for youth groups, school clubs, corporate team building, and more. T-shirts are even great for family reunions. For high-quality prints and a variety of styles, call or message Aardvark Tees for your printing needs today. Call 256-732-4743. That's 732-4743. Or visit them online at aardvarktees.com. Aardvark Tees, the t-shirts you want for all your needs.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host. Let me tell you about my friends at Purcell Lumber and Custom Mill Shop. Purcell Lumber is the #1 place for do-it-yourselfers, for construction workers, for contractors, for house builders alike. They're the only place we trust when we need our Benjamin Moore paint, our DeWalt tools, or our Minwax to keep wood beautiful for all you carpenters out there. They care about customer service, first of all. Second of all, they are just the best place in town to do your material takeoff list for your new house or to buy your DeWalt tools. If you've got a little pesky project there at the house, you can give them a call today at 256-232-6320. That's Purcell Lumber and Custom Mill Shop, 256-232-6320, or online at purcellumberandmillshop.com. They're at 501 North Clinton Street, right here in good old Athens, Alabama, and they will take care of you. Make sure you tell them that the beard sent you. Okay. So, last night we were sitting there watching. I had some issues with I'm a streamer. We cut the cord for because we're woke like that, and we cut the cord, and we are working through. We were working through some Wi-Fi difficulties last night. I don't know what was going on, but it was a Netflix or it was a YouTube TV only thing. So I flipped it over to Disney Plus. I don't know if you guys have Disney Plus.
Do.
It's unbelievable.
I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian's not bad, but I like the fact that you can go back and watch all the old movies from your childhood or from. Mm-hmm. They also have some really good sports movies on there. Remember the Titans is on there. Secretariat, one of my favorite movies of all time, is on there. There's a bunch of great movies. And I just thought that, we'll just flip it over here, find a sports movie. My son loves to watch TV right before he goes to bed, and we snuggle up there on the couch, and I turned on Miracle. I figured what better time than to watch a triumphant win over communism. And so we watched the story. First of all, unbelievable story.
Great story
of beating the USSR. Were they still? They were still the USSR at that point, huh?
Yes, they were.
And they had won every gold medal in hockey from from the beginning of time to that point. And for those of you, I mean, everybody that's listening to this show knows The Miracle on Ice. But the movie does a spectacular job, and I'm sitting there, and there's a point in the movie where the guy talks about get those commie, and it says a bad word. Starts with a B, ends with astards, and get those commie bees. And my son just kind of was like, get those commies.
Oh, you were like, oh, slow
and
down.
I was like, slow down, but stay where you're at, but slow down. Right. So we practiced, get those commies. We don't need no So the next time he calls in, it could be very interesting.
Yeah, let's hope he stops at commies.
Well, yeah. Let's certainly hope he stops it.
Excuse me, Mr. Walker. We're the principal of the school. I don't know why your son is going around calling the teachers commie bees.
Oh my!
If he holds up one more poster that says "Better dead than red," we're gonna have to send him. We're gonna have to send him home. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh yeah, well, we're just the Bible does say train them up in the way they should go. They will not depart from it. He will never be a communist. So it looks like. Did you see this game last night? We're watching it right now live here. The replay. You remember when Dan Marino did the fake clock? He faked and then threw the touchdown pass. So in football, right, you can clock the ball, meaning you say hike, you take the snap, and then you throw it into the ground. It's an incomplete pass. It stops the clock. You use it in the 2-minute drill to keep your time. Last night, Western Michigan and Toledo played, two very powerhouse schools. That's why they play on Thursday nights. And Western Michigan recovered an onside kick, went all the way down, and went to clock the ball, faked the clock, and threw a touchdown pass to win the game.
That's strong.
Pulled one out of Dan Marino's old playbook there. That was back when the Dolphins were relevant. But, hey, maybe Tua Tagovailoa will have them relevant again.
He's bringing it back.
Hey, did you hear about LSU?
That they're not playing this week?
I saw an inside look. There was a picture of Coach O at practice the other day, and he had his whiteboard. And you know how they use the whiteboard
we got Corona.
And draw the plays up. Hey, go Tigers.
My son, you talk about Timothy. If we want to have family call in, Timothy can be our Coach O.
Well, it's not hard. You just do this. Hey, we're going to win the game. We're going to win the game. We're going to beat Alabama. Go Tigers.
He's good.
Go Tigers. All you have to do is be unintelligible and then finish with Go Tigers, and it's a great
He's like a drunk Cookie Monster.
See for Cookie. Go Tigers. That sounds like a gay Coach O. But anyways, I saw in one of their huddles, and it said game plan to beat Bama. Fake the Rona. Fake Rona on 3. I wouldn't play Alabama either if I was LSU.
I wonder,
You've already had the most embarrassing season you could ever expect to have.
If you miss games and don't have games and other teams do, is that going to affect their ranking?
Absolutely it will.
So Alabama could possibly, even though they're the number one team, could someone say, well, you missed?
No, it's not going to affect Alabama. It's going to affect LSU.
Oh, no, LSU. I can say, I'm just talking about like if Alabama doesn't play
more
games.
No, because if LSU was undefeated right now and so was Alabama, then the game would get rescheduled.
Yeah.
It would absolutely get rescheduled. The problem is you're running out of time. You're just running out of time games, and so we kind of took our bets early on as to like what was going to happen, and so there was some thought that the season would get started and not finish well, and so I don't know. That may be the case. It may not be, but
look at Sandee. Yay, sports.
I'm sorry, what?
The live stream is awesome right there.
Did you say my name?
Sandee, we've got to get you a little more sports inclined.
Rah, rah, ree, kick him in the knee. Rah, rah, ras, kick him in the other knee. Is that good?
I like that.
Lindsay Harrison says Wolverines. Yeah, if you're a big fan of cheering for dumpster fires, good gracious.
Lindsay,
what a terrible. Jim Harbaugh may be the worst. Is it Jim? John? Which one's the...
Jim is the Michigan
Well,
guy.
one of them's successful, one of them's not, so I couldn't remember which one was which. What a terrible, terrible, terrible go he's had, huh?
Yep.
I'm talking about you take a relevant team and make them irrelevant in a hurry. Good gracious.
Lindsay is watching YouTube and listening to our show from the great state of Kentucky.
Yeah, well, Lindsay sent me a message, actually.
We graduated.
He really enjoyed our show.
Yeah, we graduated together.
He said I needed to get rid of the old guy next to me to really spruce things up, but other than that, we were doing pretty good. So I I mean, I'm not mad at him. But,
No.
we want to hear from you. At 6:30, we have an interview with a Navy SEAL. It's going to be cool. We're going to hear some war stories. He's got some really cool stories. He was a SEAL back when being a SEAL was really cool back in the day, back in the original day. They're still cool, don't get me wrong. But we've got one segment before that interview, and I want to hear from you guys. Phone troll time, 866-494-9866. I don't care. Bring it to the table. Anything you've got, any topic, any comment, any question, any concern. We've got you covered, and we'd love to hear from you in the next segment. So 866-494-9866, the Old 18 Outfitters hotline. Give us a call and let us know what you think. How's the presidency going to end up? Who's going to win the election? Is it going to go to the House? Are the electors going to be faithless, or are they going to be faithful? There's so many outcomes that can happen that are all terrifying. So we want to hear from you. 866-494-WVNN, Old 18 Outfitters hotline. Let us know what you think. Boomer and the Beard will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Though the world is full of wonders to amaze you as you roam, some of life's greatest treasures are found very close to home.
Find your own treasures at Highway 31 Flea Market. We have it all. Lots of furniture, both painted and project pieces, along with chairs, tables, televisions, books, and so much more. Our prices are unbeatable with products you'll love. Maybe you're looking for a bed frame, or maybe some tools. You'll find a great selection right here at Highway 31 Flea Market. We also have all kinds of collectibles and antiques. Want even more deals? You can jump on board with our week-long online auctions, beginning every Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's simple. You can join the auction at fleamarket.highbid.com. That's fleamarket.hibid.com. And be sure to visit us Monday through Saturday from 9 till 5 at Highway 31 Flea Market on Highway 31 South in Athens. What will you find when you shop Highway 31 Flea Market?
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money-back, that same money-back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for one low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it. I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch. Mm-hmm.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands with a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
Stay informed and entertained all day long. Only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful bearded host. Let me tell you about our friends over at Lane Chiropractic. Lane Chiropractic is, Dr. David Lang is the man. He is the man. He's the only chiropractor we trust. He's the official chiropractor of Boomer and the Beard, and he has your back. Dr. Lang approaches it from a whole body from a whole body. What's the word? Approach. There it is. Whole body approach. That's the word I'm looking for. English is hard. The reality is most chiropractors are in the business of pain management. They simply mitigate your pain and lock you into a commitment of coming back and really relying on them to make you feel better, when the reality is they should be trying to heal you. And so that's what Dr. David Lang does. He tries to work himself out of a job by actually caring about you, which is incredible. So give him a call, 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. Never forget, Dr. Lang has your back. He's right here in Athens in the Public Shopping Center on Highway 72, and he would love to hear from you today. So tell him that the Beard sent you, and he'll take great care of you. He's going to take great care of you either way, but you definitely need to let him know that we sent you. If you guys like this show, you really need to support our sponsors, because those great advertising partners are the reason that this show exists and continues. And the best way for you to make sure this show stays on the air is by supporting those partners. So be sure to go to thehometownheartbeat.com or beardedisbetter.com. We're using that one as well at this point, and that will point you to the same place. You're going to end up there. You can click on advertising partners there at the top, and you can see all the different offers that we have for you, from MyPillow to Lang to Purcell Lumber to Web Underdog. I mean, you name it. So it doesn't matter what you need, whether you need a website or a new hammer drill. We've got you covered, one way or the other. Just let them know that we sent you, and that will greatly help. The other way you can help us is by making sure you've gone and downloaded the podcast. All you have to do is go anywhere that podcast you find, wherever you listen to your podcast, Stitcher, Podbean, all these other weird third-party apps, or just the Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Make sure you search for Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker, and you will be able to download that. We are working to change that name as well. But let me tell you something, folks. These folks they make it difficult to change names on anything. I don't care what it is. Good gracious.
Just not to vote.
Nope, just not to vote. You have to give a kidney sample to change your Facebook name. But in fact, do you have the video of Tucker Carlson from last night, Connor? Speaking of how easy it is to vote, let's look at.
On Veterans Day, Tucker honored a lot of veteran voters.
Yeah, yes, he did. That's one way to put it. We're ready when you are, boss.
Voters will find a ballot cast by a woman called Deborah Jean Christensen. It'd be hard to find anyone who's got a bad word to say about Deborah Jean Christensen. She was well known in her community for years as a bird watcher, an avid gardener, a committed fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. Those who knew her were sad when she died last May, and they might be surprised to learn that even after her death, Deborah Jean Christensen still managed to register to vote and then cast a ballot, presumably for Joe Biden. In some ways, it's an inspiring story, the triumph of voting over death. And no one quite embodies that story like James Blaylock of Covington, Georgia. Mr. Blaylock was a mailman for 33 years until he passed away in 2006. 14 years later, according to state records, he was still mailing things. James Blaylock cast a ballot in last week's election. How did he do that? It might be worth asking the New York Times. Maybe James Blaylock was just one of those extraordinary mail carriers. Neither rain, nor snow, nor gloom of night, nor even death itself could keep him from the mail. In his case, maybe voting from the grave wasn't really fraud, it was just commitment. Okay, but what about Linda Kessler of Nicholson, Georgia? Linda Kessler died in 2003. 17 years later, she was still voting in presidential elections. Edward Swinott of Trenton, Georgia, spent his life working construction and teaching school. In his spare time, he loved bluegrass music. According to those who knew him, he played multiple instruments and enjoyed jam sessions. When he died 5 years ago at the age of 82, it seemed like he was gone from this world for good. But no, last week he voted for president. And he wasn't the only one. On your screen right now, you will see the names of other deceased voters. Every one of them played a role in last week's presidential election. As of tonight, there aren't enough of them to alter the outcome. That could change as we learn more. But for the moment, the point is they exist. They are dead, but they voted anyway. The question is, how did they do that? How exactly did they cast their ballots?
All right,
and the short answer is
that's all I can handle there.
I think that's the one. When you asked Connor the question earlier about, when we first walked in, you hit him with, is this significant? I think the real question is, should this happen?
Well, no. I think anyone should agree this shouldn't happen. But again, the question becomes, I mean, when we said it from the beginning, and Connor was you were pretty adamant about not necessarily believing that mail-in voting could be as fraudulent as I was making it out to be. But I believe that we've seen numerous examples over a long period of time of significant fraud perpetrated on the American voting system by mail. Now, the question becomes, is it enough to change the outcome of the election? That's the point where we have to ask hard questions, because there's fraud in everything we do. There's bank fraud, there's mail fraud, there's tax fraud, there's business fraud, there's fraud because we're a fallen creation. And so there's fraud in every single aspect of life. The question you ask, should there be in our voting system? Well, obviously, we'd like to find a way to minimize that. I think my answer would be, and I'm going to circle back and ask Connor a question, but my answer would be, we'll ask that we'll go around the room. Connor, has your position on mail-in voting changed as we've watched this election unfold?
With regard to fraud, or just at all?
Both.
With regard to fraud, no, but with regard to whether it's logistically viable, yes.
Okay. So is the second part of your answer with regard to is it logistically viable? Let me then ask you a follow-up question. Does mail-in voting as a whole open itself up to fraud more? I didn't say does it create fraud? Does it open up or create the opportunity for fraudulent activity more so than voting in person?
Sure, but I don't think it's significant either way.
Okay. At what point would it be significant to you? What number of fraudulent votes would make it significant? We had 135 million votes cast. Out of those amount of votes, what number would make it significant? If there were 5 million fraudulent ballots or 5 million fraudulent votes, would that make it significant?
I don't know, that there's a number, threshold. I mean, it's just you just got to look at things and analyze what threats are worth fighting.
Well, if you look at Arizona's saying they're now 12,000 votes difference.
Mm-hmm.
There were
12,001 votes in Arizona would be significant.
Yeah, and now they said the Democrats mailed out a mail-in to every registered voter, and they said that possibly 40,000 of those voters were either dead or had not had any record change, done anything in 10 years.
Let me take that one step further to fully clarify what you said. You said what the Democrats did in Arizona, or it may not. Let me back up, Connor. You can he's already working on it. Where it happened, but we heard them talk about this morning. Mm-hmm. They sent out ballots to every registered Democrat, whether they requested one or not.
Correct.
That's the key. That's the key. Whether they requested a ballot or not, they got one in the mail. Democrats only. And so my contention would be, and what I want you and everyone else to understand is that in Arizona, 12,001 votes is significant tampering. They are alleging that potentially up to 40,000 dead people had the opportunity to cast a ballot in Arizona.
And that would go to an address, and it doesn't have to have and doesn't have any name, doesn't have anything to it.
All you have to do is check a box,
Joe Biden, and send it back.
Yep.
So from my perspective, and Connor, I think you'd have to agree that is a recipe for trouble, whether it created trouble or not. All 40,000 of those people may have done the right thing and shredded those ballots. But if that alleged activity took place, it then creates a recipe for disaster. Would you agree with that statement?
It's my understanding that these ballots had you had to fill out information on them. Is that not correct?
No. That is not accurate. You literally just have to see. I think that's where the disconnect is from your perception of because you are a very, what's the right word? You love the rules that I'm finding myself in. Is there is no barrier to cast your vote like I hoped that there would be.
Right.
Like just if you get a ballot in the mail, should you not have to send back a copy of your ID? I mean, there should be some kind of verification that this vote was being cast by the person it was sent to. And until we have that, absentee ballots are different because you have to go before time. You have to register for it. I've got no problem with absentee ballots whatsoever.
Right.
No problem. And look, if each state goes through, I mean, the process to change the way they vote legally at the federal level, the state has the right to change whatever they want. I believe in state government over federal government all day long. So however that process, but what happened in Pennsylvania in the 9th hour was illegal and should render those ballots not real. And so at the end of the day, I think the situation that's been created has been, I would say, different than Connor. I would say that this has been orchestrated by someone to create the opportunity for leverage. Now, whether or not that's accurate remains to be seen, but we're certainly starting to see evidence of widespread opportunity for fraudulent votes. And if that is true, and Arizona had 40,000 dead people receive ballots and the margin of error there is 12,000, that is significant.
I'm not saying that everyone did it, but if all 40,000 nailed in the vote,
50% of them,
yeah, so 20,
it changed the election.
Then those people got to vote again.
Correct. So
you
now
would have
you've got 50,000 votes out there, and so it would be very, I would say, plausible that in the state of Arizona, the election result could be uncertifiable because it cannot be proven to be accurate.
Right.
Now, we'll see, but that's my position. I love the dialogue we have on the show. I love the fact that this is what it looks like, folks. You can have conversations. You can disagree. You can be respectful. All those things happen. We still don't hate each other. We'll be right back. Don't turn that dial. You're a communist.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
The United States hitting another all-time high. Every day the past week has eclipsed the day before in number of coronavirus cases. 144,000 new infections in the U.S., 65,000 new hospitalizations. In his first big hire as president-elect, Joe Biden has named Ron Klain as his chief of staff. He served as Biden's chief of staff during the Obama administration. Klain also headed up an Ebola response task force in the Obama administration, telling ABC News earlier this year.
One thing that the Obama administration left as a result of the work we started during the Ebola response and continued with the Pandemic Preparation Office was a playbook. And on page 9 of the pandemic playbook, it said, hey, here's something to worry about, a coronavirus.
The nation's top infectious disease specialist, Dr. Anthony Fauci, telling ABC News this morning.
We can turn it around. I think that's the message we've got to get to American people. We can turn this around.
Tropical storm Eta slamming into the western coast of Florida. The sound along St. Pete Beach. The winds around 50 miles an hour when it came on shore. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
My great-great-aunt Bertha May had certain words she would not let us say at the dinner table. Nowadays, if you're a government contractor, CMMC is one of those words. Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. It's where you've got to be in the DoD world if you want to bid and win government contracts. 256-975-4758. My friends at Simple Helix, look, they're not afraid, and they can show you a cost-effective path to becoming CMMC compliant. What that means, they're going to help you navigate the process. They're going to make a plan, and they're going to get you to those big government contracts you need. Give my friends at Simple Helix a call today at 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
Remember being in your favorite sport clips, getting set for that great MVP haircut experience? Yeah. How about if we made that wait even shorter? Now, with Sport Clips On Deck text alerts, when you check in online or with our app, we'll text you a 15-minute heads up when it's time to head in. And when you're the next man up, you'll get another text to come take your seat. Less wait time, more prime time. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
There is a new survey by the Pew Research Center. It says most Americans still believe in God, but not as many millennials do. Only 43% of millennials say they believe in the God of the Bible. Only 17% of them regularly attend church. Almost two-thirds of Americans over 50 believe in the biblical God. 52% of them attend church services regularly. Now, in addition to this age divide, when it comes to belief in God, there's also a political and racial divide. white Republicans and non-white Democrats are far more likely to believe in God than the white liberal Democrats who run the Democrat Party. I should say who are running the Democrat Party into the ground. The bottom line is that an overwhelming number of young adults in America have been raised to be godless, and white liberal Democrats, for the most part, are still godless. Now, if you've tried to figure out the root cause of hopelessness and despair and anger and intolerance coming from millennials and top Democrats, you might have just found the answer. Absence of God in their lives. Don't doubt me. More than 75% of identity theft victims who had accounts opened in their name did not find out that they had been victimized from their bank or credit card company. Don't be like them. Get LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock sees certain threats that you could miss if you're only monitoring your credit and bank statements. Plus, if you are a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock looks out for you. They constantly monitor transactions in the billions each week, looking for evidence your identity's been stolen and is being used without your permission. Join LifeLock now. Save 25% off your first year. Call 800-440-4833. Go to LifeLock.com. Use my name, Rush, as the promo code. That's LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH for 25% off.
When people walk through our doors, they all see something different.
A treehouse.
Our dream home. Our cabin in the woods. A new golf course community. When you have every conceivable building material imaginable in place, the possibilities are limitless.
Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop. Let us bring your home improvement project to life. The best products and name brands in residential and commercial building supplies. From lumber to Benjamin Moore paints, DeWalt tools, custom millwork, doors, and more. Looking for something specific? Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to make sure you find the products you need to complete your home projects. Pay a visit today to Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop on Clinton Street in Athens and online at PurcellLumberandMillShop.com. Or for questions, give us a call at 256-232-6320. Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop in Athens, where builders, remodelers, and home improvement specialists come to shop.
Where Alabama talks, WVNN. Depend on it.
Something, Sandee? That was shut you down. Well, sorry for that, folks. I had a nice introduction there coming back, but we've got Randy. Randy, do you have us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
Your name right? Randy Beausoleil?
Beausoleil.
Beausoleil, okay. Veterans Day to you, buddy.
Appreciate
one day removed, but Randy is the legend that was part of starting Old 18 Outfitters, which is one of our great advertising partners that does they do fishing rods and are doing lots of other things in the upcoming future. But for now, they make the best fishing rods that money can buy at a price that normal people can actually afford. And so you guys need to definitely check them out if you are an angler and get involved with them on social media and such, because there's some big changes coming that you guys definitely want to stick tight for. But he's also an ex-Navy SEAL, and the last time we interviewed Randy, we asked him if he would be willing to come back and tell us some fun stories that he would be allowed to tell us. And so, in this segment, with Veterans Day just passing, we will kick it over to Randy. He's told me a couple of stories offline that are just unbelievable. But I think it's quite appropriate at this juncture that, Randy, you probably had some interaction in fighting communism, and what more appropriate time than this juncture to talk about what it means to fight communism.
Yeah, I actually joined up in '82, so in the height of the Cold War, man. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I came in '82 and went to Buds. I was in class 131 in 1984. So when I graduated early '85, I went to SEAL Team 2. SEAL Team 2 is that's their area of the world. Obviously, Europe and all the Eastern Bloc countries are all right in the same spot. So I spent a lot of time over there, like 11 years going back and forth. So I know exactly what it's like, and I did, I think, 72 countries total in my time.
Wow.
And people just don't get what it's like to be here in the U.S. as it compares to other countries, and to see the oppression and just the nasty stuff people will do to each other. So
it looks like they may find out.
Yeah. They keep going the way they're going.
Well, I wish there was a better way sometimes. I've got a 14-year-old, and he loves the military, but it seems like that generation, their only concept or view of the military is a Call of Duty video game or something like that. I mean, how do we keep those stories going? I guess here's a perfect opportunity of just the amazing things that the military and Navy SEALs and all these different people have done to kind of keep that story alive.
Oh, it's things like this, plus actual parenting might help. Where you take your kids out and do things with them instead of letting their thumbs do the talking on Xbox or PlayStation. So it's actually get out and experience life versus what most parents are doing now, which is let media determine their future. So
no, that's a fact. So Randy, we've got about 5 minutes before the segment's over. I would like to hear your favorite story that you can tell us that you wouldn't have to kill us after you told us, kind of a story.
The one that always comes to mind for me is my first combat experience was in 1989, the night of December 19th, morning of December 20th. When we invaded Panama, which not many people know that we did, especially young guys. So we invaded Panama on that night, and it was a complete Special Operations Forces invasion, I guess you could call it. But the whole goal was to get Noriega, right? He was pushing drugs into the U.S., and it was to stop him. So our job at Team 2, there was only 20 of us that went over there in support of Team 4 and some other task forces, and we went over there basically to cut off all of his avenues of escape. And one of those avenues was he had boats in the water, patrol boats, big ones, about 80 feet long. So our job was to sink those patrol boats. And the way we do that is we dive underwater with a rig that leaves no bubbles. So you're like a lobster under there, right? There's no bubbles coming up. It's not like scuba. And you follow a compass using literally a wooden board with a depth gauge, a compass, and a watch on it. And you plan your route, man, you dive, and we ended up putting, I know it's overkill, but there's a reason. We can talk about that later. We put 40 pounds of C4 on that one boat.
Whoa! Yes.
And it exploded right on time and blew it kind of out of the water, and it sank within about 30 seconds or so. But that was with real clear, objectives, which was deny him access to the boat and sink it. It wasn't, let's destroy part of the boat so we can hand it over to the next regime and be this soft and kind, gentle. No, when you're in war, you do war things, which in this case was sink the dang boat. So we dove for about 4 hours to get in and out. That's awesome. And again, to complete surprise to the enemy, man, that thing went off like clockwork. It's one of the best missions I've ever done. Very, very. It was the first time SEALs ever did a combat swimmer attack like that, and we call them combat swimmer attacks, even though you're not swimming on the surface, you're diving under the water. And then it was the last time we've done it. So in all the annals of Naval Special Warfare or SEAL Team, whatever you want to call it, it's the only time it's ever been done. So
that's awesome.
Wow.
So what happens? What happens when here's my question? As a military guy, now I'm trying to figure out how the egress plan. Like, what happens when that boat blows to high heavens? Now everyone knows there's a foreign force in the water or around, because you said it blew pretty quick, right? So were you still? Where were you when the boat blew up?
We were only about 400 yards away.
So you were in the water still.
God. And that kind of explosion, 40 pounds. We actually had to get way up underneath the pier and get our chest cavity out of the water. Because that close to 40 pounds going off, since water's not compressible, would have crushed our chest cavity. So we had to get out of the water up to our waist so that our chest cavity wouldn't get crushed. And then we got back in the water as soon as it blew and kept on going. But yeah, man, it's like kicking a hornet's nest, right?
Wow.
So once the boat blows up, most people figure out right away that, hey, somebody's under the water. So now it's time to get the dude that's under the water. So trick is being smarter than them, having better tactics, and they never saw us, man. They never knew what's coming. They never knew what was coming, and they never figured out where we were, where we went. So.
I would have been standing on the bank going, Marco, and then
yeah, we were under the water though, man, so couldn't hear it. So, but you gotta watch out for things running you over, because once that boat blew up, there were boats all over the place trying to get out of there. So it was a great op, man. It takes like an hour and a half to talk about the whole story and how we did it. So.
Well, you know what we need to do? We just released an interview yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we just released our interview with Josh Wetzel, who was a double amputee above the knee in 2012. He stepped on an improvised explosive device in Afghanistan, and we did a long-form sit-down with him. So maybe we need to do a long-form sit-down and do a separate version of the podcast on some of these missions, because I think that would be, if more than anything, I just want to, like you said, document the stuff like this for future generations, because I'm pretty sure you said a wood board with a depth gauge. Like nowadays,
it sounds funny, but it worked, and it's still usable today. It's kind of funny.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I would be willing to do that. I got to be careful about exactly how what I say, because I don't want to compromise tactics. Guys might still be using them. So, but I've worked around that for years.
Well, I think people just need to hear the sacrifice, the level of what we're willing to do for the people back in the United States, what you individuals that have been.
Exactly. Well, we practiced in the U.S. to do that dive. We practiced we practiced for that. We did 70 dives to practice for that one dive.
Wow.
70. A dive is not it sounds easy, but it's a long drawn out, you got to do planning, then you got to do prep, then you got to get in there, then you got to get in the water, you got to execute the dive, get out, clean everything, do all those kind of things. So it's a long process. So one dive can be a 6-8 hour cycle, I guess you could say. And this is a knot we couldn't screw up, because it was the first time SEALs would have actually done a mission of this type, and other countries have tried and failed. So we couldn't screw it up. So it was kind of a no-fail option. So we practiced a lot to make this happen.
Well, that is fantastic. Randy Beausoleil, thank you so much for joining us. I got it right this time. You guys need to make sure you check out Old 18 Outfitters, old18outfitters.com or old18.com?
Old18.com.
Old18.com. Check them out. Boomer and the Beard will be right back. Thanks, Randy.
Later.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for one low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lane Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600. At Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to here at the end. Fired up. Let me tell you, we're at Simple Helix. Simple Helix is the IT solution that you have been looking for if you need to hire an IT director or an IT department, but it's out of your budget. Simple Helix can help. Call 256-975-4758. They can help you with all things IT. Microsoft environment, they got it. Tier 3 data center in Huntsville, they got it. All you got to do is call them at 256-975-4758. Tell them Boomer's a communist, and they will take care of you all the way. Okay, it is our last segment here this morning, and as you know, that makes me very sad. But no, that was my man took out Noriega's boat.
Yeah, I need to hear stories like that because I think that's the disconnect. I remember as a kid, when I was in Kentucky, the Kentucky State Fair was always like this. The Kentucky National Guard would always bring out, tons of military vehicles, helicopters, planes, and you could get to see that. And as a kid, I fell in love with the military and just respect. And my dad always taught me that way. Now I feel like there's just this disconnect where if you hear anything about the military, it's bad, it's negative. And I think that we need to hear very cool stories like that. And to put it in perspective, we had Veterans Day yesterday, but we should honor our veterans every single day. And the sacrifices that some of these individuals made, we need to hear that. Because when you wake up and you're mad and you're ticked off at the world and you think, but have you had to go and run with bullets firing at your head? No, you haven't had to do that. So let's suck it up a little bit and realize there's people that have laid their life down, and let's fight for our country in ways that we can. I think we could hear from him all the time.
And we will. Yeah. Don't doubt that. We've got some phone calls if you're interested in joining us, 866-494-9866. If you're interested in giving us your opinion, again, 866-494-WVNN. Doesn't matter what you think or how you got there. We want to hear from you this morning on the Old 18 hotline. We've got Fish on line 3. Fish, bring it in here, buddy. What you got for us today?
Yeah, I'll bring it in there. Yeah, I've been out of town in school for the schools for a while, so that's the reason I haven't been calling.
I was wondering where you were, Fish.
My Uncle Billy was, he got drafted by the New York Yankees for pitching, and over in Vietnam, he got his left eye from a shell.
Yeah,
messed his eye up on the left side where he couldn't watch first base, so he never did make it. He's a retired district fire chief. And I'm about to have to go. I just realized something. And it's breaking me up real bad, Zach.
What's that, buddy?
All these self-driving cars. It's just a matter of time when they write a country song about your truck leaving you. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Fish. I appreciate that, buddy. His Uncle Billy got drafted but couldn't see first base. I thought he was going somewhere with a grenade and a baseball. And I didn't know where we were going with the baseball in the Vietnam.
Well,
but 866-494-WVNN, 866-494-9866. We want to hear from you. Trust me, if we want to talk to Fish, we'll talk to anybody. So,
Did you really hear what he had to say about the car, though?
I didn't.
Oh, my gosh.
Electric car.
He was crying because all of these, he called them self-run cars.
Yeah, self-driving.
They were leaving him.
Yeah. And he said it just reminded him of the country song. Now then he's going to have to, or like he's going to have to come up with a country song that says, "My truck left me."
Yeah. Thank you, Fish, for making me look good today. Whew. There's one person. I'm smarter than one.
We love Fish. You remember the first time Fish called, and he called in with such an encouragement. He said, "Man, we turn you on into school. We listen to you over the loudspeakers."
Our show is like life.
Yeah.
There's that one family member, that one uncle that
he
baffles us, but we love him.
What's funny? What's funny in my family? It's Uncle Billy.
Yeah.
Now he's no longer with us. That was a rough day, but
Oh, my.
for my entire life, it was Uncle Billy, and it was a tough one there. But yeah, it's funny. Because
I'd want Fish at the Thanksgiving table.
Oh my gosh, I would definitely take. Yes, I would spend a few minutes with old Fish Dog, no question about that.
And what you would do in the family get together, you would have to fit Fish with that other aunt who takes life too serious, and you just sit back and watch that
side
go,
by side.
You watch
you
that
just sit
chemistry.
there and eat your turkey and dressing.
There's a
just
comment
enjoy
on
the
the YouTube stream that I want to address because I think it's a good point. I think it needs addressing. Cody Hughes says Arizona has been voting by mail for decades. Almost 75% of ballots in 2016, when Trump won the state, were cast by mail. I wonder why there were no cries of fraud then. Well, Cody, to answer that question, one, I don't know if that's accurate or not. We would have to fact check that. Like we try to do every single thing we talk about on this show, and we've had to come out the day after and put a retraction out and say, hey, we screwed that one up, we got that one wrong. And then we use words like allegedly and hypothetically, and so we're very honest with our facts and lack of facts. But the problem that I have with your statement is this. It wouldn't be incumbent upon the conservatives that won the state in 2016 to investigate the fraud. So it would have been Hillary Clinton that would have been able to say, hey, we thought there was some fraudulent activity. And then if that was able to be substantiated, then likewise, we would have been like, wow, that's not okay. I want to be very clear about something. If you can hear my voice, I need you to listen. I don't give a rip who wins as long as we can trust the process. The American people will choose the president, and if that happens, I am all good with the outcome. But I don't trust the process right now, and that scares me. What do you got?
Well, my thing is, okay, they've been doing it for years. Why has it taken 9 days? You did it right 4 years ago. I'll play Zach right now. I'm not talking about the mail-in. Why are you messing it up now?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey.
Sorry.
Hey, I got a phone call. I'll be back.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Why is it taking 9 days? Now?
I mean, literally, we can put people on the moon. We can. I mean,
Alabama, we figured it out.
Yeah.
That should be our slogan from the rest of the thing. We got this.
Alabama, we got you covered.
We can count.
So it definitely is interesting. But I wanted to get that in. We've got Jason on line 4 quickly. Jason, you've got about 30 seconds, buddy. What do you got?
I'll wrap it up. There were calls fraud during the 2016 election. And I forget her name, but it was the woman who ran for president, kind of a lesser-known figure. And she started a GoFundMe, raised a bunch of money, started doing vote recounts, and she started in Michigan. And she found so much fraud in Hillary Clinton's favor, she backed off and decided not to do it anymore. You just don't hear about that in the news. But if you look it up, you can find it.
There you go, Jason, dropping a knowledge bomb on you this morning. Thank you for that. Man, the freaking listeners of this show are so darn smart.
From Fish to Jason.
From Fish says, sorry, Jason, didn't mean to put you in Fish's boat. But
we are family.
Yeah. But yet we
I
find
got
ourselves here anyway.
crazies and smarties with me.
You're listening to Boomer and a Beer. This has been the Thursday morning edition. Do not forget, you will have 5 hours of my silky smooth voice tomorrow. Get excited about that. Get ready to call in and join us. We're going to need all of the calls that we can get. You have heard the Thursday morning edition. We love you. We'll see you in the morning. Have a great day.